What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. It's been a very eventful week in the wrestling world. Two world title changes on AEW Dynamite and Raw this week. A very controversial one and a very expected one. Me and Tears are going to be talking about it all and more in this episode of the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. So, Tears, you ready to talk some wrestling today? How's everything been going?
I am waiting to see which one you call the expected one.
All right, well, let's get into it. So, Sami Zayn won the
Mm,
championship, pinned Cody by a roll up. I was excited. It was an unexpected victory. Me and QJ were watching it live. I put undisputed championship, by the way. Let
yeah,
me
I was
fix
about
that.
to. I was
Yeah.
about to say I'm gonna be like, let you just talk, and then I was gonna be like, well, first off, you did this.
Yeah, there we go. I got it fixed now. Not that the title means anything after time in WWE, but Sami Zayn loses the undisputed title after 9 days. Cody Rhodes and him were set up to have a match. Cody and him are backstage. Gunther attacks Cody, puts him through a table, slams his head into a car door, and Cody is not cleared to compete. They're in Chicago, and Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are fighting backstage. They're going back and forth, and they say, "We got to get a replacement for this." And the crowd automatically knew it. It's in Chicago. They're chanting CM Punk. They already know what's going to happen. And out comes CM Punk, big pop. And it's listen, I already knew Sami Zayn was going to lose the Punk. I mean, most people with a brain would have knew that was going to be the case. Unfortunately, Punk beats him, and after 9 days, Sami Zayn's undisputed WWE title reign is over. And I made a TikTok about it. Some of y'all might have seen it if you follow me on there. There was a lot of comments, and they were all going at me saying, Sammy ain't a main event guy. He should have never won the championship. At least he got to win the championship. Did you really expect him to have a long reign? All that jazz. So, Tears, what were your thoughts on this match and Sami Zayn losing the championship after a 9-day title reign?
First of all, I did enjoy his little sticks he was doing on social media, like driving the car, eating dinner with it, pushing it on the swing set along with his kids. That was funny. Um, but it's interesting because I'll put it this way: I saw Ryback's take on Sami Zayn winning the belt, and he's basically his thing was like you can call it a transitional champion. He doesn't really feel that way. Transitional champion is kind of tough to say because you can also say when Drew held the belt, it was a transitional championship. I can't recall who else in the
Miz,
Cody.
Miz held it for like Miz.
That's
This was
true.
the shortest reign
Miz,
since Miz. Yeah, when he.
Lashley as well.
Mm,
There's several others, but I can't really
Kane, I
put them
think
up.
Kane held it for like a day or something. Somebody
I do
said,
not think that at all. I
yeah,
I refuse to believe that happened. But I I understand people being upset about it though because it's just like Sami Zayn. You can call it like how you want to, like, oh, he's not a main eventer. Oh, he really shouldn't. But he put in so many years of work. Like the fact that now he is on the list of people to have held the WWE Championship, which by the way has people on it who definitely shouldn't have less than him. Like we got names. I'm not gonna put anybody on blast right
Jinder
now,
Mahal.
or
uh,
he will. He'll do that for me. Um, I on one hand, I did like the Sami Zayn post, like clip or interview or whatever you want to call it, after winning the or losing the belt that he said backstage on Raw. So hopefully this leads to something. Maybe what are we looking at SummerSlam? Maybe triple threat. Maybe
so
for some.
Meltzer was talking about it. He said they might. So the plan is Cody against Punk. That's been their plan, but they might do a fatal four with Gunter and Sammy being involved for
I was
sure.
thinking Fatal Four Way. I just wasn't too sure with Gunther yet. I wasn't too sure. Like maybe he already had a planned situation.
The thing is, they had Gunther attack Cody. So Cody's going to want to have vengeance against Gunther for doing that. So it's like something's going to have to add up out of that, unless you wait till after
May-
SummerSlam to do
Maybe
something.
SummerSlam they did it so they can have two matches on the card. To set that up.
Yeah, potentially.
But I wouldn't mind a fatal. God, it's been so long since we had multi-man match.
Yeah, especially a Fatal 4-Way. We've done triple threats in there, but Fatal 4-Way, it's been a minute since they've done one. I mean, it'd be
It,
interesting.
yeah.
So there was a report that came out just today about Sami Zayn, and it says WWE management reportedly views Sami Zayn as a good talker, a good wrestler, and a good guy to have around, but not as a marquee star. That's like
Hmm.
the report. So, Tears, any thoughts on that report from WWE management?
What really counts as a marquee star, considering the actions that they took compared to what they said? Like, let's be 100%. Also, let's be real. Just because you don't see them as a marquee star, do they really not need to be WWE champion? We've had multiple times where the stars don't need the title, whereas the title
Hmm.
can do something else.
I mean, we had Damian Priest hold the title for a while. He's not a marquee star. I mean, look what he's booked at right now compared to like,
I just felt something
yeah.
in me hurt after you said that. Thanks for that.
So on the topic of Damian Priest, real quick, is it bad that WWE, when they send people to AAA, they're bigger stars and feel more important there than they ever did? Like Damian Priest showed up on AAA and he looked like legit a badass. And on the
Yeah,
main
like
roster, he's teamed up with R-Truth. Like it's just, like I don't know.
I did see that people were saying like he looks like a modern day Undertaker, which wow, it's almost like that's been the butt of the joke for him this entire
Well,
time.
considering Undertaker's booking AAA, I'm sure Undertaker sees that
That's
too.
that's he's doing pretty well booking it, I will say. Um,
Especially El Grande Americano match. That was incredible. But my
that
bad,
was
go ahead.
uh, it is kind of. I mean, hmm, I don't know. Like on one hand, yes, it's really bad. Like of course, any form of when you have the stars go anywhere else, they're always going to be seen better than what we see on WWE. So it's weird because I don't know if the AEW or AEW, wow, the AAA like fans watch WWE really. So, but when they see the stars is when they excited. So my thing for you is, do you think that people who don't watch WWE still value the superstars in WWE?
Probably not. I mean, like most casual fans are only gonna know like really like Roman Reigns, CM Punk. I mean, everybody else they probably won't even know. To be honest, like maybe John. I mean, I'm talking about like active people, but like John Cena, obviously, like WWE doesn't have a lot of marketable stars right now, and that's their own fault because they don't really treat a lot of people as stars. Besides, like maybe the four people that are in the SummerSlam main event, and maybe Brock. That's like the only five they really consider. I mean, Oba's getting there, but like, are they going to do what they always do with Oba, where it takes them a year or two to win the championship, and they make him earn, and all that stuff? Who knows? But I mean, with Punk, like, does Punk turn heel out of this? Because it's like
Mm,
Punk kind of looks like a hypocrite with this because he bitched and
yeah, I
complained for years about The Rock coming back and beating him for the championship, and he literally just did the exact same thing the same. Not that it was his choice; it was probably creative. But like, could you see a CM Punk heel turn, a Cody heel turn? Somebody's got to be a heel in this feud anyway.
I
But do you see that being Punk?
I could see that being the storyline of Punk being seen as a hypocrite. I can totally see that because I mean that's what Meltzer and Alvarez said as well, that this storyline or like this booking is making Punk look like a hypocrite. Even Sammy in that backstage segment said Punk is a hypocrite. I think he said that. There was a lot of blurring. Um, I feel like we need another week to see what, or at least we need to see what happens on Raw, because they're gonna have a promo segment to start the show,
Oh,
and
they
it's
will.
probably gonna be Punk. It's either gonna be Punk or Zayn. Maybe it's Cody. Maybe
I
it'll be.
think. I think all three are supposed to be on SmackDown. I know Punk and Cody are, and Gunther. So I'm sure we're gonna get some type of direction on SmackDown tonight as we're recording. SmackDown's 2 hours away, but like Punk's Punk's on SmackDown full time now, and he'll be on Raw when needed. But like he's a SmackDown guy, so that's probably gonna be more of the advancement. But like WWE's gonna have to get to a point. Like we're talking about Sheamus here in a few, but like they're gonna have to get to a point where we're gonna have to start trusting some new stars. I know Oba's the exception, but outside of Oba right now, are they really trying to push anybody new in the main event scene that we
Trick,
haven't seen? You said who?
Trick.
I don't know because he's a mid card guy right now. He's not in the main event scene.
He made that title look better than most of
He
the other
has, but
stuff.
like he's not
I'm
being
pretty
pushed
sure.
as like I mean like a in the main event like scene. You know what I mean? Like in the main event, like Trick's not in segments with Punk and Cody and Reigns and Rollins right now. Like he's kind
No,
of
but
in his own
he
thing.
did. He did do like major segments. Of course, started with Zayn with the U.S. title scene,
Mm.
the Ginger. He
Yeah, that
debuted in a segment with Randy Orton. So yeah, just because he's not in the world titles like promos or segments, that doesn't mean like he's not doing stuff with main eventers.
Yeah, but to me, it's like if you're not in the world title or main event like type stuff, you're not really in a main event role right now. Like I mean, like
Uh,
people like WWE's pushing Oba in the main event scene. They had him win King of the Ring. They're not doing that with Trick. Like they're keeping Trick grounded at the mid card for now until they're ready to get him there. I think Trick will get there. But I'm talking about like right now, WWE's only looking at Oba as like a new young guy that they're currently pushing to be a top star. There's nobody else. It's all guys in their 40s. Drew 40, Reigns 40, Rollins 40, Cody 40, Punk 48, uh, Gunther's close to 40. Like it's pretty much all older guys. They're not really pushing a guy like Javon Evans or like a young guy to be a main event guy right now. And they could in the future, but WWE has a tendency of like making talent wait years to finally get it. It feels like that's their thing. Like with Sammy, for example, like they're like, okay, we're gonna make him wait a decade to win the championship. We're gonna make like it's just kind of the way they roll. Is kind of what I mean. Like they're not really trying to emphasize a lot of newer talent being in the main events outside of Oba. That's kind of what
all
like I'm
right,
trying to get at.
all right. Well, my question is between two individuals. Between these two, who do you see being like the world champion first? Jacob Fatu or Solo?
Jacob Fatu.
Because my thing is like he technically has already been in a is a one or two world title match. I know he was in the one with Reigns. I can't remember if he was in
He
another
faced
one.
Reigns twice, and he faced Cody for the title, I believe, at one
Whereas
point.
Solo, I feel, is getting more of a fan reaction. He's getting more into. It depends. I'll put it this way: you have two different ways of getting to the main event scene. You have like fan reaction, which is what Solo's getting, and you have booking, which is what Fatu's doing. I feel like there's a good argument between seeing which one will be the successful route to getting to the world title. Like, do you use the fans' reaction or do you use the booking and story?
It's tough because LA Knight gets a reaction and WWE just ignores it. So it's like it depends if they see that as a way to catapult somebody to the main event. Because if LA Knight, if they actually went off fan reaction, LA Knight would be in the main event scene. But like they're just like, we'll keep him here. We don't. There's all them reports that Triple H don't like LA Knight, which I still believe because look at the way he's booked. Like they kind of pick and choose who to go with fan reactions with, which is weird on WWE's part. But like I don't know, they have a lot of people who could be world champion or be in the main event scene. They just kind of either phase them out for the older people or they don't. It's kind of like with like Braun Breaker and Rollins in that steel cage match.
Mm,
A lot of people were pissed that Braun Breaker lost because it's like now, okay, what's the direction for Braun Breaker? That could have
I
been,
remember
and I
that.
get it. Rollins is facing Reigns, that's why he won it. But like, besides the point, like I was talking to QJ about this. WWE doesn't have younger talent beat their established stars very much. Like Brock and Oba is kind of an exception for that. But like Braun couldn't have got the win against Rollins, and that could have catapulted him. Like it just seems like even Braun Breaker, like he can have been at that main event level right now, and WWE's just kind of like not really knowing what to do with him necessarily. They're kind of
And
just like, we'll have him feud with big names, but we won't have him beat big names. Like it's just kind of weird if you get what I'm
well, I
saying.
guess for that to play devil's advocate for the Rollins and Braun situation, it's just like if Braun were to win, how and this you can easily make an argument for this. How can you justify Rollins v Reigns for SummerSlam?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like yeah, I get that part of it, but like even if he wasn't facing Reigns, would they have still had Rollins win?
Probably not clean. Like or
Yeah,
Braun would win, but not in a clean way.
I would hope so. I
That
just
that's what
hope
I'm seeing.
WWE like I just keep hearing WWE talk about how they're trying to go younger and they're trying to get all this. I just ain't seeing it in the men's division right now. I mean, I hope that changes in the next few months or years, but I mean, this SummerSlam main event's four guys who have been in the main event scene for years now, and it just don't seem like it just seems like WWE doesn't like taking very much risks. They're just kind of like, okay, we'll go back to what's safe. Rollins and Reigns is safe. Punk and Cody's safe. These are guys that we always have in the main events anyway, so we'll just go back to the well with this. Like, we ain't gonna try having Sammy face anybody at SummerSlam. I've heard reports about maybe doing Sammy against Gable for the world title, and they could have had Punk and Cody in a non-title match. Like, they could have done something like that, but they don't trust Sammy and Chad Gable in a main event match to do that. They're just like, okay, let's go back to Cody and Punk. Screw it. Sammy, you'll
All
just
right,
be doing whatever.
good. I have a good way to set this. Do you think it's just because it's SummerSlam? If it was like any other pay per view, like that wasn't a core pay per view, you think they probably would have like say let Sammy keep the title, or do you think it's just because it's SummerSlam that they kind of had to go for the bigger match?
So I've heard since WrestleMania's in Saudi Arabia, they're trying to make SummerSlam as big as WrestleMania this year. So I could see that being the argument. Like, that's a report that came out the other day about how they're like trying to make this a big time show this year, SummerSlam. So yeah, I can understand that
I
argument.
mean, we got a Hell in a Cell match between Brock and Ova.
Yeah, and Reigns and Rollins and Cody and Punk, and you got Liv and Io, which could be interesting.
Living
I don't know.
like, why do I feel like that could be potentially the weakest?
Yeah, I could see that. If Liv drops the title, I'm low key gonna be mad because I mean if she loses the title in her first defense after they hyped her up so much as the champion, that's gonna be really bad for Liv. Like that's
To be fair, she hasn't done anything with the belt. I think even if she loses it, like what do we really lose now?
yeah. I don't know. WWE's weird with their booking. We'll see how it goes and go from there. So we got news this week. Sheamus is leaving WWE. They offered him a contract reduction. He said, heck no. WWE's been doing a lot of this where they sign talents these big time contracts and they're not using them creatively, or they're getting older, they've been injured, or whatever the case. They tell them to take a pay cut or they can leave. I feel like it's part of them being like, we don't really want to keep you, but we'll offer you a contract. So we don't look bad on our part. We'll pretty much offer you a contract we know you ain't going to accept, but just so we don't look bad, we'll be like, well, we offered him a contract. He just said no. But Sheamus said no. He's moving on. He's 47 years old. He's had some injuries the last few years, especially with his neck. But man, it's been a few years since Sheamus has really even been relevant on WWE TV. The last time I remember him even being involved in anything interesting was him and Gunther. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a while since Sheamus has really
Just
been doing
when Gunther
anything.
was still the IC champ.
Yeah, that was a while ago. And his last match, I guess, is kind of a good ending for him, is him teaming up with Cena and Rey Mysterio in that match. I mean, I guess that's kind of a fun ending for him. But Tears, I know you like Sheamus. What were your thoughts when you heard he was leaving WWE? And are you surprised by this move?
I'm upset about the reasoning for it because it's just like, man, why does TKO gotta be like that? But on the other hand, it's just like he is getting up there, and it. I saw somebody post this, and it was interesting to see. But the fact of the matter is, like, if you think about it, all the PG era wrestlers are retiring. Like, Dolph Ziggler is like on his couple, probably final years or so, because he's in TNA, but he can't really keep doing this forever. Kofi's out of WWE. Sheamus is leaving. There's not really, if you look at the time period between 2000 and let's say 2007 maybe to 2015, not really a lot of people left from that like time
Hmm.
period.
You got Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Punk. Anybody else I'm forgetting, or is that the only three? I'm trying to think.
Hold up, I'm there.
Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Punk.
Zach Wright, well, Matt Cardona
Yeah, he counts. He
technically,
was
but
around during that time. Yeah, he counts.
um, and I'm just thinking about WWE in general. Not like they could potentially be wrestling somewhere else right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about WWE. Yeah.
Um,
Drew,
uh,
would Drew technically count because he was around in '09 or no?
uh,
And Cody. I guess you can count Cody. He was around during that time, WWE. So
Yeah, I guess you can allow Drew and Cody. Yeah, I'm legit trying to think like the scene, like the the roster of when I in the PG era. So I'm thinking
I think
like
that
2010 SummerSlam. That's my time period. It's starting with 2010 SummerSlam.
think that's pretty much the only five, really. I mean, I can't really think of anybody else unless it's like a mid card guy. I'm just not thinking of.
SummerSlam.
R
Oh,
Truth. What was R Truth
yeah,
around that time?
yeah. Truth
Yeah.
was I
Okay.
believe he held a U.S. belt. He beat Miz, but then Miz.
And he
Oh,
feuded with
Miz.
Morrison and yeah,
We
yeah.
got.
So
I forgot about the Miz.
yeah, Miz. So about 6 or 7 guys, but R Truth's on his last deal. He said Cody's got 5 years left. Randy, who knows? Rey Mysterio, I know is trying to retire soon. Like it's definitely getting there for sure. Damn. So
I'm legit trying to think. I'm pretty sure like if I were to like boot up SVR 11, I'd be like, what is his roster? Who are
yeah, the
these
roster
people?
was. It'd be a lot of crazy names. It'd be a lot of nostalgia names. You'd be like, damn, they were in WWE. I mean, for me, it's sad to see Sheamus leave WWE, but at a point, I mean, he's had a heck of a run. They're 19 years in WWE, and not a lot of people
I
can say they've
believe
been there
I
19
believe
years.
somebody posted like during his time in WWE, he has wrestled 1,959 matches.
Damn.
I could be wrong, but it was like around that much.
I mean, that's impressive. Look, I know some people kind of sour at the end of these people's careers, like, oh, TKO got rid of all that. But look, it's been a heck of a run for Sheamus. WWE champion, Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, won a world title at WrestleMania. He's feuded with some of the
You
top stars. He beat John Cena. Like, I mean, it's been a heck of a run, really, for him, honestly. Like,
and plus his career is definitely one of those like lessons and just good. This is not an insult to him whatsoever, but he is still one of the perfect examples like starting extremely high and then
kind of
just
going
mellowing out
lower.
like the inverse career, like you know how
Hmm.
people start off with like tag team belts, maybe some major main eventer wins, then you get Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, and then you eventually get to the mid cards in the world title scene. James was just the inverse of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people that have that Jey Uso effect. But yeah, Sheamus, I mean, he like you said, he started off high, won the WWE title. He started off in ECW, which a lot of people forget about. I mean, he did start off there, and I mean that's 2008, 2009. Like that's a long time he's been around. Like that's crazy.
I
But you
still
got to
love
respect it.
that he did not know he was supposed to win the WWE title until 2 hours before the show.
That
Or no,
makes
two
it even
hours
more
before the
cool.
match.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool that he. I mean, this kind of gives you kind of like oh man, I'm about to win the WWE title against John Cena here in 2 hours. Heck of a run for him. I mean, what do you think's next for him? I mean, I know there's a lot of AEW talents that like him as a person. They don't really want him there. They feel like there's already a lot of other people that aren't getting TV time that are signed there. Is that a place you could see him coming? He don't want to take a pay cut from WWE, so he's not going to go somewhere like TNA or MLW probably, or maybe he'll go to New Japan if he wants to do that. But like, I feel like AEW is kind of really the
Hmm.
only option if he wants like a good amount of money to still do this.
I know people are gonna say this, but I want the bar. Like I feel, but then again, would Sheamus fit in the Death Rider shtick?
I don't really think it would fit
I just want the
really.
bar. I just want the bar so bad.
Maybe they get Cesaro or Claudio out of the Death Riders. I mean, it ain't like it would be like that no knock on him, but like a huge loss. Like, oh my god, we can't recover without him. I mean, maybe they do have him turn on the group or something, and he does something without the group or something. Maybe I don't know, but
Or maybe we get a uh, good couple matches between the two before a tag team again.
yeah, could do that. They could have like an Edge and Christian type setup where they feud for a little bit and they go to be a team, and I could see that for sure.
I still enjoy Edge's run in AEW. It's
Yeah.
enjoyable.
It's not been too bad. So next topic. Speaking of AEW, Jack Perry recently re-signed with AEW. My YouTube short actually got a lot of views on that. I didn't think that topic was gonna get a lot of views compared to other ones that hit like 800. I was like, damn, a lot of people, I guess, were looking up Jack Perry. I don't know, but there were some people speculating would he go to WWE. I didn't see it happening with him and CM Punk's issues, and he just don't fit WWE unless you put him in NXT or something. I just didn't see it. he's back in AEW. I don't know what to really expect from Jack Perry in AEW. It ain't like it's really been that fun of a ride for him the last few years, especially after the CM Punk incident. It seems like Tony Khan's kind of given up on him a little bit. They had their falling out for a little while as well. So,
I mean,
Tiz,
the
what do you
scapegoat
think?
gimmick was fun.
Yeah, I mean, Tiz, what do you think about Jack Perry re-signing, and what do you see the future holding for him in AEW at this point?
So I saw, and you can comment if you saw this too, but there was a report about WWE pretty much saying like they were not interested in Jack Perry or signing Jack Perry, which I thought like, oh, that's kind of surprising, but very valid. Um, I think him re-signing with AEW, maybe they'll put some more good word into him for the AEW because at the end of the day, they're a company, and companies like it when like stars or uh, talent re-signs with them because it shows like signs where like, okay, you're sticking with us. Maybe we can like reward you for doing that instead of just leaving type stuff. So maybe we can. What would be the ceiling?
I mean, he's kind of been doing so with the Young Bucks. I know he's doing Jurassic's better Luchasaurus. I think Luchasaurus got injured again, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty much been it, really. I mean,
Trying to think of their 20 million mid card belts.
it's kind of crazy when you look at it. Like when AEW first started, who they were going to build around, and now three of them aren't even featured on TV like that. Britt Baker, Sammy Guevara, and Jack Perry. Like years ago, you thought those three were going to be like the pillars for the company, the top of the chain.
Well, remember, like the one of the storylines in the early years was the four pillars of Darby, MJF, Sammy, and Perry.
Hmm. And two
MJF has
worked out.
proven, yeah, MJF's doing great. Darby, he held the belt.
Yeah, he's been a world champion, and Tony Khan likes him a lot. So I mean, I guess
Um,
that's Guevara and
Sammy is, mm,
backstage heat, not well liked.
and Perry's just
Kind of did to himself with the CM Punk stuff, and uh, it, and then Britt Baker was kind of in that four pillar thing too. She's probably never coming back to AEW. So two out of the five worked out, I guess you could say. And Britt had some success there. I shouldn't say she didn't work out, but I guess most people thought she would be like the main woman in the company by now, and it didn't go that way.
you think it has something to do with Mercedes?
Could, but I've heard Britt is not well liked backstage at all in AEW. Like she is hated. I know her and Thunder Rosa had their issues. Him and her and Jamie Hayter had their issues. Like she's just, I've heard she's a pain in the ass to work with. From what I've heard, I don't know if that. I mean, that's why she's not back because she's had issues with Tony Khan. She's had issues in the locker room. She's had issues with MJF apparently at one point. She's just kind of, I guess, a drama person in the locker room for what's been reported.
That's fair, but then again, we've had worse drama people, and they kept their careers. So
Yeah, I mean, maybe I know she signed to like 2027. Maybe she eventually gets out of that. Maybe she just goes to be a full time dentist. Maybe wrestling behind her. I don't know. But I mean, there was all the reports she cheated on Adam Cole with Christian. I don't know how valid those rumors were. I don't know if I believe that. That was a rumor going around
I
that she cheated on
feel
Adam
like
Cole.
if you would have chose any other name, it would have had some merit. But the fact that it was Christian,
Yeah, it's just like that's an
that,
interesting name, I guess. But
mm,
just a lot of drama behind her name. So who knows what the future in wrestling holds for her. Her and Tessa Blanchard are two very controversial names for sure. In wrestling for sure.
uh, who do you think would get signed for a major company first between the two?
Probably Britt. Because like
Really?
Tessa has like racist accusations and everything. Those are like more serious. You know what I mean? Like it's I feel like Tessa's kind of got more. I mean, they both got baggage, but I feel like she has like more serious accusations against her, like bullying and racism and all that stuff. So I feel like if WWE looked at both of them, I feel like Britt Baker would probably be like the option. What
Hmm.
about you? Who you
Who
going with?
who was it that Cody said that was it Tessa that Cody said he would never share a locker room with, or was that somebody else?
I can't
It,
think.
It was like years. Somebody put in the comments like, who was it that Cody Rhodes said that this person will never enter one of my locker rooms?
It might be Tessa because I mean, unless him and Britt had a falling out in AEW,
Well, it might have been either one. It could have just been somebody else that I'm thinking
it could
about.
have
But
been. Yeah,
um, I don't know. I
Tessa's had a lot of accusations against her. That's why like it's tough. I don't even think AEW is gonna sign her. I know they're working with CMLL and she left TNA. I don't even know if they would touch her right now just because of all the baggage.
I don't know. I don't know. I need more. I need a refresher in context.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stories about Tessa Blanchard in wrestling.
Things like those sorts have been going on for almost 10 plus, or not 10 plus years, like 6 plus years now, and I can't keep track of them all. I need a
Nah, it's
recall.
yeah. I have to look it up on Reddit. So Tony Khan, a new report came out about him, and the report pretty much like Jack Perry, basically going back to previous topic, that he wanted to get more money, and I'm sure he got a little bit more of it. But Tony Khan is in the mindset now, especially with WWE getting rid of a lot of people. They don't feel like they need to overpay people. They're not wanting to pay people. He doesn't feel the need to overpay his own talent, which is smart. You shouldn't have to overpay a lot of these people. I wouldn't overpay Jack Perry. I'm just being honest with his positioning in the company and wrestling. Maybe 600 to 800K a year. I'm not paying that guy $1 million. Don't knock on him, but it's just you don't want to overpay talent and have them just your salary just keep expanding. But yeah, Tony Khan just feels the need not to overpay talent. So, Tears, what do you think about that?
There's a fine line that you could take with this because I'm like thinking of like on the side to pay some people more than others. Like when you have names like Daniel or Brian Danielson, Chris Jericho, John Moxley, yeah, they're probably going to make a little bit more money than like say I like the guy, but it's fair. Brian Cage, maybe Kevin Knight. Of course, they will make more money than uh, Orange Orange Cat, not Orange Cat. Is Orange Cassidy. Losing my mind. I might. The
You're pretty much
point
talking about the
is,
main stars, aren't you? Like the big names, like the Will Ospreys and stuff like that.
yeah. The point right there is like for the payment difference is some names are just more valuable than others, but on the other side, that shows like it's a good idea to not overpay people. Is Tony Khan has certain people in the company that worked for WCW, so he probably
Yeah,
knows like how not to like rely on that because what ruined WCW? The overpricing of superstars. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hulk
yeah.
Hogan, they made so much money for doing so little work. Like I think there was a story of Scott Hall just making what's it 50K? It might have been something like 50K just for staying home.
Sounds about right.
And to be fair, Kevin Nash talked about this segment on his podcast, and he says like, yeah, who wouldn't want to be paid that much for staying at home? So there's
Yeah.
that. But on the other hand, when you think of it like a business, you do not want to sign superstars who want that type of contract.
Yeah, you want people who are hungry, who want to do stuff, who aren't comfortable just sitting at home doing nothing. I mean, that's not the worst job in the, excuse me, not the worst job in the world. But like, I mean, there's a lot of people in AEW that are overpaid. I feel like Okada's probably overpaid for what he provides. I'm not hating on Okada, but he don't really do a whole lot. I don't know if that's by
He
design
doesn't
or
feel like New
that's
Japan Okada.
yeah. Like he's kind of just. I understand he's older and he's probably want to take it easier and stuff, but it just feels like I heard he's making a ton of money. I mean, I think him, Osprey, and Moxley, Jericho, and Mercedes are probably like the five top highest paid in that company right now.
I can
And
believe
like,
Jericho.
yeah.
Osprey, I can see his value being that high. Mercedes,
Oh, she's making a boatload of money. I heard Mercedes. I mean, he paid her a ton to get
uh,
her, which Mercedes puts in the work. I
yeah,
mean,
she
she has
puts in the
great
work. It's
matches.
just,
So
yeah, she puts in the work. She puts on the good matches. It's just when she's there not putting in the work. Like,
yeah,
what? like when I saw like the her just sitting on a chair. Like to be fair, that could just be character work. That could just be doing the gimmick. Still, it's just like when I see stuff like not even putting like wrestling at all on the show, but still getting the paycheck for the show. I'm just like, that's
Yeah, I can
I don't
understand
know.
your frustration with that. Like, some people are overpaid more than what they provide. Like, Okada's overpaid probably for what he provides. I don't know what Tony Khan's paying a lot of people in the back. They're just sitting there doing nothing. I mean, you got, Brian Cage who re-signed. Did he overpay Brian Cage?
How much is Cage probably making?
Uh, I don't know. I know he recently re-signed, but he was injured for a while. He's been there since like day one. Probably like
Okay,
800, 900K a year, I guess. Maybe.
I like Brian Cage.
He's really good. I feel like he's underutilized in AEW. I don't know. Him and Lance
I
Archer,
think
two
there
guys I expected more from.
I think there was a time period where WWE could have signed Brian Cage. They just chose not to, which is wild to think
Which is
about.
interesting, especially during Vince's time. Vince would love that guy.
I think it's because they might have signed somebody else at the time. Like they looked at their options and they chose the other dude. I just forgot who the other dude was.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I get it from Tony Khan's perspective. You don't want to overpay every talent. I mean, it's just like if Sheamus comes in, do you really want to pay Sheamus? I mean, he's probably going to want a good amount of money, but are you going to overpay Sheamus? I wouldn't at this stage of his career. So you just got to be careful when you're negotiating with talent. Be like, okay, I'll pay you this downside guarantee and all that, but like I'm not going to pay
Hmm.
you $2 million a year to not do anything. It's just not a
All right.
bad investment.
It-
So
how about this? How about this? Would you give him the Claudio type contract, or would you give him the Adam Copeland contract?
I would give him a Claudio. I like Sheamus, but at this stage in his career, he's not an Adam Copeland type star. Because Adam Copeland came from like an era where a lot of people are watching wrestling. He's a more notable name. He's been, a main guy in WWE a lot closer in the times. So I would probably say a Claudio type contract.
And with that in mind, what would you say would be the best scheduling like for Shayna? Like
With the neck injuries and everything, I would give him
like
probably a part
matches per
time,
month.
probably like 2 matches a month. Well, the AEW only does one, probably like one match a month since they don't do live events. I would probably do like one. Maybe
One
two if he
match.
does collision stuff, but yeah, probably one or two matches.
Hmm.
Because he is older, he's had neck issues like Cope has. So I would really be careful with overusing Sheamus. So I would definitely make it a part time deal for sure.
Fair. I feel.
I mean,
Yeah, probably considering he is also really physical, and he would need a
yeah,
physical
you gotta be
opponent.
careful with that too.
However, hear me out. Sheamus versus Ishii.
I like that. That'd be fun.
It'd be two dudes doing two dude things, beating the fuck out
Beating
of
the hell
each
out of each
other.
other. It'd be fun. I mean, it would for sure would be
Dude,
fun. Sign me up for that.
in the words of a former uh, WWE Games YouTuber, two big meaty men doing big meaty things.
Yep, sums it up. By the way, speaking of big guys, get Keith Lee back on TV, please. I miss Keith Lee.
Where
I know
the
he's healthy. Get him
we
back.
there was a video I watched a while ago about talking about that. I just can't remember what happened. Where is the Lee?
He put on Twitter a few months ago when somebody asked him, like, are you injured? He's like, no, I'm healthy. I'm just waiting for Creative to come up with something for me. And that was like a year or two ago when he said that. So apparently he was brought up like a few months ago by Creative, but nothing came out of it. So I don't,
You know what would have been
I,
a great time to bring him up?
when,
During Swerve's like world title reign.
yeah, so they were a tag team. Yeah, that would have made sense. That was a fun team for a little bit when they were going.
Uh Swerving the Glory or something like
Yeah, that
that.
one. Yeah.
Man,
Hopefully he
it's
comes back. But
crazy to think how Swerve was compared to WWE to AEW.
hit road to world champion. Yeah,
I have a
it's pretty crazy.
video, or I have a image on my phone saved. I'll send it to you afterwards. But it's basically like a switch AEW to WWE like stars. Like I think for AEW was switch. Your options were Kenny, Hangman, and MJF, and WWE had Reigns, Rollins, and Drew.
Rollins would be a star in AEW. Drew would be a star in AEW. Reigns, I mean, right now he'd have to be. But if you're talking about like Reigns from like 10 years ago, I feel like he'd kind of just be there. And Hangman wouldn't be a star in WWE, I don't think. Omega, I feel like he'd be in a Sami Zayn role. I don't think they'd make him world champion. And MJF's like made for WWE, so I could see him being popular
You
there.
know, he did an interview a while, like not too long ago, saying like he wants to be a guy that never signed with WWE.
Yeah, we'll see. They always say that. When his contract's up, that money gonna talk again. We'll see. Well, speaking of Kenny
Oh, remember,
Omega, I'll go ahead, my bad.
I was gonna say like remember what we're talking about, like with WWE not wanting to sign people like for that long of a contract.
Yeah, so we'll see. So speaking of Kenny Omega, he recently beat MJF for the World Heavyweight Championship on AEW Dynamite. I think it was Bash at the
Oh,
Beach or
almost
whatever
like
they
I planned
called it.
that.
And he will face Will Ospreay at All In London. Third time they will face off, Ospreay and Omega. And once they had the stipulation, if Omega loses, he can never challenge the world title again. I was like, okay, he's probably gonna win this match. I wasn't 100% certain, but I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna win. So, Tears, what do you think about Omega winning the world title and him against Ospreay 3 coming up?
Honestly, I thought MJF was potentially going to win because I would have thought like the stipulation was a good way to show like Omega couldn't go for the world title again. Like because there's so much talks about like this is Omega's final run and all that. I was like, okay, the stipulation actually makes sense because if this is his last run, he can't really go for the world title. It'll work out, but he won, and that was actually surprising. I'm actually happy to see like maybe Omega gets the one final run. Him ver- and plus it's him versus Osprey. It's going to make money more than probably MJF and Osprey. No disrespect to their quality of match together. Just Omega and Osprey just makes more sense. Um, I'm just curious. No, I can't imagine. Oh, they would do Omega like Zayn and just have him win the belt to lose it to the other guy. Cause, hmm,
So my argument with that would be Omega would at least get a month, I think, or maybe the end. I think it's at the end of the month, so he would get at least a few weeks as champion compared to Sammy. But like Ospreay's is in the UK, he's never won the world title before. This is like his big moment right here. I think a lot of people have been saying this is the perfect time to put the belt on him. I don't know. I mean,
mm, I, mm, mm. What's also amusing is Osprey is in the Death Riders, so the fact that how will Moxley think of this?
yeah, that's gonna be something.
People
They're probably gonna set
like,
up him and Moxley eventually, if I had to guess. But we'll see.
we'll see about that one. It'll be fun.
Yeah, wouldn't be something. I mean, the big question is how many one winged angels is Osprey gonna kick out of? Because he kicks out of literally everything in his matches.
Maybe this will be the one time that it'll be a one and done finish. I
I would
mean,
be shocked if that was the case. I watched him and Swerve, and that was the most one of the most ridiculous matches. I like both guys, but man, the stuff they were, it kind of ruined the house call for me because Swerve hit it so many times on Osprey, and it was just like it's just kind of like with the curve stomp when Rollins hit the Fiend with like 40 curve stomps. It's just like okay, we're getting to a point now where it's just like this movie means nothing anymore. Like let's just wrap it up. Like I don't know. We'll see. I mean, curious what Swerve's gonna be doing at this show as well since he lost. Maybe MJF. I don't know.
eh,
I don't know what Swerve gonna be doing or MJF. I'm curious what they're both gonna be doing.
I don't know.
Yeah, have Tony kind of figure it out. Maybe one of them will
But
face Takeshita or something.
God, but what does that mean? Like, say either or do win. Like, what's next after that match.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't know what they're both gonna do. That's the problem. AEW. We'll see. I ain't gonna say nothing until the shows happen. We'll see. I mean, I'm glad to see Kenny win. This might be his last run as world champion. Him and
Might be
Ospreay's
your
gonna
last
tear the
title
house
in
down.
general.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, hopefully Ospreay sells, which he has a history of not selling, but maybe against Omega he will. Hopefully it's not like him and Swerve where they're getting up from 40 finishers in the match.
That part we'll see. Considering
Yeah, man.
they both have 20 finishers.
Yeah, basically.
Now, are we going to see a Omega Styles clash? Put
Possibility.
that in, put that in your bingo book for the match, or actually make a bingo card for the pay per view.
Bingo card.
I'm putting in like an Omega Styles clash.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Ospreay kicks out of the one way Angel. I think it's gonna happen. I don't know. He kicks out of everything. So and it's in his home country. So you know they're gonna make him look like he's God. So we'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to the AEW show. We got WWE SummerSlam coming up. Two big shows. I think the two really biggest American shows of the year. Or
Biggest
not
shows of the
I just said
summer.
American when it's in the UK. WWE's biggest show in America this year, since it's WrestleMania and the biggest AEW pay per view of the year I've been hearing. So two big shows coming up later this month
I
for wrestling.
I do want to say something about the Sami Zayn thing before we ended.
Yeah, what's up?
Sami Zayn is the only WWE champion that Cody didn't beat. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean that's valid. And Gunther's never
Sami Zayn,
defeated Cody, which is unfortunate. But 0-3 against Cody.
at least Sami Zayn can leave with that. He is the one person to beat Cody for the title that didn't just lose it
Yeah.
back to Cody.
I saw that when they showed the thing about how Cena lost to or Cody lost to Cena, then won it right back, and then he lost to Drew and won it right back. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a ripple effect.
Yeah, it almost happened.
Yeah, it was close. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of wrestling going on the next month. I'm curious how the directions are going to be heading into these shows. Hopefully, TNA gets their footing going. They do have Apollo Crews there
Oh.
now, which is an interesting signing for them. I like that. And Fabian Eichner. So those are two potential main event guys for TNA that are going to get an opportunity with a lot of the people leaving TNA. I mean, there's been a lot of people leaving, so we're going to see how TNA does.
Oh, yes. Like
Mike
fucking
Santana's on the way to WWE. That's been confirmed. His contract expired over the weekend, so he'll be heading to WWE.
Eric Young's depression.
Yeah, he'll be back in WWE too, apparently as a coach. So
Coaches.
a lot of turnover for TNA. Leon Slater's heading out the door soon. You got Tessa Blanchard leaving. Sammy Callahan left, which he's been retired for a while. Just more and more names. I mean, it's been pretty crazy. But hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe for more wrestling content. As always, appreciate the support. Peace.
Bye.